Yes, what's up, how you doing? From wherever you're catching me from, Jose Anderson is my name. Super excited, of course, to be here, just like how we always do it. So I'm excited as long as you're watching through. I want to say thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And of course, it's been raining, and it's been raining like crazy, yeah. It's been raining like crazy. Let me check. Let me see my sound on my phone. I see our sound is good, yeah. I always monitor myself, so I have to make sure that the sound is good by the time, of course, you are there. But of course, it's been raining quite much here in Uganda. It's been raining quite much. Let me see my sound if it's good. Mm. Yes, my sound is nice and lovely. So I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are catching me from. It is very cold. That's why you always see me put on jumpers, yeah. I've been going through these videos you're seeing there. It's been raining for the last like 3-4 days, and I could not believe what I was seeing. You could see some of those pictures there, yeah. I'm getting these off TikTok. Yeah, many of the people put up their videos on, of course, what has been going on, and this has been, of course, this is part of Uganda. Yeah, the capital city. So for some reasons, that's why I like living off grid. Yeah, because now where I stay, I can take like even a whole month minus going to town. But when I was going through these pictures, some of them are recent. These ones you're seeing are recent, and of course, this is how Kampala was looking like. I got to see some of the places. I saw some of our friends, of course, around Natete, and I couldn't believe it. You know, they were having water up to almost their waists, and I'm like, how do even people, how do you really survive this? Yeah, of course, it was an issue for some time. Of course, the government talked about it, of course, in the parliament, but this is really, this is really bad. Yeah, this is really bad. Most of these, the first one we started with are recent. I got to see some which really amazed me, and some of the places I know. Yeah, now this one, yeah, this one here, this one today, I think it also happened recently. This is 5 days ago, the one you're watching now there, that is 5 days ago. And it's been raining consistently. Each time I wake up early in the morning, because they take Tyler to school at around 6:45, sometimes 7. So immediately when he gets on to the van, it started raining. Like today, it rained like crazy. Like at around 6:50, yeah, that's when he left for school. And immediately when I came back home, it started raining. It went even dark, yeah, and it was raining so crazy. It is really bad, yeah. It is really bad. And you imagine people doing their businesses, all of them stormed, in one area. It is really bad. It is really bad. So that's why I like the off-grid living, that you cannot get like such. And I think it all comes to planning, yeah. Now this place I know, this is off Entebbe Road, and this place has been like this for the longest time, yeah, for the longest time. I ever passed there, because yeah, Entebbe Road, I've ever passed there, and it was like that. You can imagine, just like it is, you're seeing it here. It is really crazy, and the way how people, oh my goodness, it is really upset. But anyway, super happy to be here. Everything is I was talking to some friends of mine, and I'm like, in Uganda, everything is the opposite of what it used to be, yeah. I remember them days when they used to tell us that our elders are the ones supposed to be mature enough. We're supposed to respect our we are supposed to respect our elders, number one. And of course, they told us education is the key. Right now, who works you can find someone who works in a bar, and of course they earn more than someone, like a teacher. They earn, I think I did that video, it was on TikTok, and I was talking about those things. You can find someone, of course, uh, who went to school, got a degree, and maybe now they are teachers. But of course, you're a teacher, but now someone who works in a bar, yeah, in a bar where you go and drink, and they earn more than them. I know of friends who earn like 1.5 in one night, 1.5 in one night in a bar. And then you find teachers who earn like 300 and 350, 450, and they are teachers and they went to school. So at the end of the day, I started contemplating, and I was like, things are not the way we used to think they were supposed to be. Because now you find a girl who has gone to the university. Because I did, I think it was a video I made of, it was on TikTok also, and I did a video about that. It is a guy. He went to school and studied medicine and finished school, but surprisingly, the job, he looked for a job for like 3 years looking for a job. Remember, he's done medicine. So because we grew up knowing being a lawyer, a teacher, a doctor, those were the ways you can earn a lot of money. So it is so surprising that this guy finished university. For 3 years he's looking for a job and he's not getting a job, and he did medicine. Basically, he's a doctor and no jobs. I remember sometime when, of course, guys were trying to strike. The teachers wanted to strike because they wanted an increase, of course, of salary. Then the doctors, and of course, they told them they will not increase, and in case they didn't want to work, they can easily leave. You can imagine. But again, you find someone, a TikToker, you can imagine a TikToker who drives better cars than a doctor or even a lawyer or even a teacher. So I was like, everything the way we used to think things are supposed to be, it's not basically how things are right now. Things changed like a lot, a lot. I really felt very upset for that gentleman. Of course, he has done a lot of videos, and of course, he was talking about, not getting a job. And surprisingly, he said, if you go in private clinics, yeah, in private clinics, I think most of you, if you're watching even now, you've gone to a clinic and then they've told you like you have infections. In those private clinics, he said that you come and they do tests on you, and basically you're fine. Maybe you just have a simple temperature, or you need to eat well, or you need something simple, yeah. But of course, because they are not the owners of that clinic, so the owners, who are not even doctors, of course, told them, in case anyone comes in and they are saying they are, they are not feeling well, you're supposed to tell them that they are sick, and you have to come up with any kind of treatment for them. You can imagine, you're not sick, but they are going to give you treatment. And the easiest thing they can easily come up right now with is you have infection, and then they give you tablets. Maybe they even inject you because they want to make money. So you come, you're not sick, and you're injected and you're put on treatment, and you're not sick, because now the owners just want to make profits. Yeah, I remember when Tyler got sick, we went to Naguru, yeah, that Chinese hospital. He was a baby. I think it was like months, like 6 7 months. So he went because he was covered up, because we thought we were first parents. Yeah, so we thought, kids are not supposed to be cold, so we put a jacket, then we put sweaters, then we put like a lot of stuff. So when we went to that hospital for the kids, the guy told us, looked at us, and then he was like, "Are you the parents?" Then we were like, "Yeah, we are the parents." And then they're like, "You guys are not serious. This kid is not sick. The kid is okay. Just don't put heavy clothes on him." As simple as that. We went back home. But now I just imagine if we went to a clinic where, it's all about making money. At the end of the day, they would have told us he has infection, and then they would have treated something which is not there. So it is really very, very bad that everything we grew up knowing, it is again very absurd. Like, I don't know. Each time I talk about these things, everyone comes out and they're like, that person is wealthy or they got money. But surprisingly, everyone knows that this person doesn't have his money in genuine roots. Everyone knows maybe they are stealing, they are thieves. And surprisingly, again, those who are thieves, again, they are protected by the military or the police. So I sat down and I'm like, everything we thought was the way it was supposed to be, things really, really changed a lot. You go buy land, and at the end of the day, they tell you that land is not, yeah, you bought air, it is really so upset. And again, we thought that these elder people are the ones who are supposed to help the young ones because they're supposed to be legit people. But again, you find the LCs, LC1, LC, all those ones there. You go, they sell the same land to different people. So now it is the old people who do fraud. The old people, the one we used to be like, let's give that one respect. Again, they are the ones who do fraud. And to make matters worse, the only place you could run to, let me say, to a church or a mosque or, any of those. And again, those guys are also business people. Oh my goodness. That's why for some reasons, I stopped going to church. Why? Because even the people, the pastors, the sheikhs, the priests, they are also frauds. So you reach, like, the whole system is really down, and it is unfair, and there is nothing we can do about it. So if you thought that education is the key, right now it isn't the key. It isn't the key anymore, because someone who works in a club earns more than someone who went to school and got a degree. So at the end of the day, it's way better maybe if you went in for skilling. Yeah, you go in, you do anything, the more dirtier the better. Either you learn plumbing, you learn building, that is construction, or you learn something, a skill, something you would do with your hands, or you get into maybe manufacturing or something, bakery. But it is really absurd. I was thinking, and I was like, of an idea, like I felt like my son should end maybe in primary 7, then he goes in for any kind of a skill, because right now things are not like the way they used to be. They are not the way they use. A lot of things have changed, and the things we are thinking that when done, those are the things supposed to be done right. But surprisingly, everything is done in a wrong way. It's like saying the calm people can always succeed. The genuines, those ones who don't like and succeed in life, vis-a-vis is true. Those who are aggressive, those who are thieves, those who have bad manners, they are the ones who succeed in life. It is terrible. It is horrible. You find someone who has gone to school, done dancing, you can imagine, done dancing, but someone would come maybe on TikTok and they are dancing and they're showing their bodies off, and they are driving better cars, they're staying in nice apartments. So you're like, what's the use of school now? It's terrible. Very, very terrible. I was thinking about it and I was like, this is really unfair. And now, the generation which is coming, who are our kids, it's going even to be worse. Worse. So it is only here, by the way, someone can buy a car abroad. Let me say like 10 millions, yeah? Abroad. Good car. Nice car. And then the taxes are double. You buy a car, 10 millions, but at the end of the day, in only taxes, you're supposed to pay 20 million. So that comes to a whole total of 30 million. What is that? It's really bad. It is really, really bad. Because you cannot tell me you've bought something, but its taxes are more than the amount of money you bought it. You bought a car, 10 million. But now they are telling you taxes is supposed to be 20 millions, double the amount. I remember when I started doing live streams, yeah, I used to do events live streams like on weddings. So I bought something called the YOLO box. When I got a YOLO box, it was the first version. But when we brought it here, we had bought it like 3M. But surprisingly, they wanted taxi of, I think they wanted, is it 2.5? And I was like, this is not adding up. I was almost going to leave it there, but thank God, of course, I had a friend who worked with the with the guys of URA, and then they were like, nah, that is unfair. And they didn't know what even they were taxing. They didn't know the gadget. It was like a phone, and they didn't know what it was doing. But of course, for them, they are like, no, these are the taxes you're supposed to be paying. It is really unfair. It is really, really unfair. And our generation, the young generation that is coming up, it's going to be worse. and the rate of unemployment, because me, I always ask my friends and I tell them, tell me one of your friends who started something at school and basically they are practicing that. Most of the people that I know, they do jobs that they didn't go to school for. Terrible. And that is also happening in different ministries, the same thing, and you're like, really? Sometimes I don't want to talk about these things because people might think maybe you're fighting the government or something, but those are the real things. And most of the people think, that doesn't concern me, not until when things change. I remember someone said, it was Bobby Wine who said that, you could think you're okay, yeah? And your kids are fine. But guess what? Your kid who is fine will end up getting married to my kid who grew up in hard time. And guess what will happen? Of course, these habits will join with these habits and chaos is going to be happening. Terrible, bad. Imagine someone goes to a club, they work one night and they are paid 2.5, and basically because they are going to be showing much of their body than a university student who did nursing or medicine and they earn like 650 a month. So at the end of the day, people will reach a time and they'll be like, education isn't the key, just like how they told us. So me, that's why I've always wanted to learn. Even up to now, I want to learn like different skills so that when my son is growing, at least he can learn some of these things. Because I was talking to my sister and I was telling her back in the day, we knew that this family, whether it is called the Matovo family, those were farmers, you get, and maybe they are dealing into coffee farming. So in case you wanted coffee farming, you go to, family A, and then family B was into maybe cotton farming. So when these ones wanted coffee, they would go do their exchange, give me coffee, then I give you, cotton. And you knew that your kids had a secure future. But right now in Uganda, everyone is just surviving. It's so bad, but it is the truth. We are all surviving. And basically, Retukesa Retubala, the day gone is the one will be like, thanks to God. We are living like we are a mistake. So bad, it hurts, but it is the truth. It is the truth. Me, I thought about these things and I was like, education really. Imagine now, sir, that guy, I think if I wish I could get, let me see if I can get that clip. If I get it, I'll be very happy. I think he was called the, he said what? The unbothered truth. Yes, I think I got the guy. Yes, I got the guy. Let me look for this video, guys. You have to see this video. You have to see this video. This guy went to university, studied, but of course, no results, yeah? Years minus job, yeah? Let me get this guy. This video really touched me a lot. It really touched me a lot. And I did a video on TikTok and I was talking about this guy. Let me see, yeah, let me type in here so that I can show you guys this guy. You're going to listen to him and what he said, yeah, the unbothered truth. Yeah, he's here. Okay. I want to show you this video. It really touched me and I was like, imagine someone went to, to university, studied, they invested in a lot. I've gotten the video. So let's do like this, yeah. Let me do a little like this. Yeah, niceness. So let me play for you the video. Yeah, let me put on the sound and you listen to this. So getting a limakati bana mwekamba gambe mwene Uganda. I've tried my best. Kino nzogedde nga ali makati g'ekibuga, nzogedde nga ng'ekituufu nziza kwekimala teri mulimu gwe sitakoze nziribye okuyirwa ku switi nziribye okusoma nasoma. President yagamba munange tusome science courses nazisoma, nensoma obusawo ne graduatinga
mwaka gumwe 2023 nga yadde and it is completely no hope that your math zijja kufuna ki okufuna emirimu toba eri awo nga bwe kyali mu mulembe gw'abajjajja baffe. So nze nga nze ndowooza munange I've given up. I always hear of my fellow medical professionals nagamba nti munange nze kintu nakyanjula nalemererwa. So nze kyendowoozamu nange ekintu ndowooza kankyanjule. I've really done enough of my best. Ngezezaako I've tried to do all my best okufumba obwongo nga bwe kisoboka naye seegaanyi kampala egaanyi, because you cannot tell me you graduate and you get your license, everything, the nation stood up for millions on the class stood up university, take a whole licensure, everything. Nongamba nti mara umwaka gumwe 2023 nga teri future teri na hope y'okufuna akalimu konna, but in Kampala you expected to pay rent, you are expected to do what? Bills nga bwotegera bills e Kampala naye nga toyina mulimu wasoma naawe oli musawo. The best we can do for ourselves obeereyo you are volunteering era nze nsaasibwa n'omuzadde alina plan zisitwala omwana we toba asoma obunaasi clinical medicine ekyeyo ekituufu obusawo yesu twetaaga abasawo but ninange nze ndowooza these courses are for blood kids in this current generation tuzirekere bw'okimanyi nti oli mwana omunaku genda mu olwino genda oyingire otherwise you're going to be disappointed. Baana mweka mbagambe mwene Uganda I've tried my best. Kino nkyogedde nga ali mu makati g'ekibuga, nkyogedde nga ng'ekituufu ngezezaako ekimala. Teri mulimu gwe sitakoze njiribye, okuyirwa ku switi njiribye, okusoma nasoma. President yagamba munange tusome science courses nazisoma, nensoma obusawo ne graduatinga mwaka gumwe 2023 nga yadde and it is completely no hope that your math zijja kufuna ki okufuna emirimu toba eri awo nga bwe kyali mu mulembe gw'abajjajja baffe. So nze nga nze ndowooza munange I've given up. I always hear of my fellow medical professionals nagamba nti munange nze kintu nakyanjula nalemererwa. So nze kyendowoozamu nange ekintu ndowooza kankyanjule. I've really done enough of my best. Ngezezaako I've tried to do all my best okufumba obwongo nga bwe kisoboka naye seegaanyi kampala egaanyi, because you cannot tell me you graduate and you get your license, everything, the nation stood up for millions on the class stood up for university, take a whole licensure, everything. Nongamba nti mara umwaka gumwe 2023 nga teri future teri na hope y'okufuna akalimu konna, but in Kampala you expected to pay rent, you are expected to do what? Bills nga bwotegera bills e Kampala naye nga toyina mulimu wasoma naawe oli musawo. The best we can do for ourselves obeereyo you are volunteering era nze nsaasibwa n'omuzadde alina plan zisitwala omwana we toba asoma obunaasi clinical medicine ekyeyo ekituufu obusawo yesu twetaaga abasawo but ninange nze ndowooza these courses are for blood kids in this current generation tuzirekere bw'okimanyi nti oli mwana omunaku genda mu olwino genda oyingire otherwise you're going to be disappointed. Baana mweka mbagambe.
I think you've gotten it. So that video really made me so emotional. For the guys who don't understand Luganda, he was saying that he finished university, of course graduated, but now he has spent 3 years trying to look for a job. 3 years trying to look for a job, and he has not gotten any. And what hurt me the most is the part where he says he has now admitted that he has lost hope. That is bad. When you lose hope, I always tell you, when you lose hope, that means you've lost it all. You're as good as dead. Imagine he went to school, did medicine, man, and he's saying, I've given up. When you give up, that is your end. When you give up, that's your end. It really hurt me so much. I really felt bad. And that is the system. Yes, graduated, yes, but someone works in a bar, someone is on social media dancing, and they are doing it way better than all these doctors and nurses and then lawyers. I have friends who did law, but they are into acting now. Can you imagine? Terrible. But nothing to do, nothing to do. So that's why I just woke up one day. I felt like, let me go off grid, let me be with my son. No bills. At least the only thing I pay for is internet. But it hurts. Now you've seen the floods in town, yeah? Oh my goodness. Terrible. There are times I talk about things and I'm like, there are times when I'm here and I wake up, but I'm like grateful, yeah? And I'm grateful to God. Why? Because guys are not doing okay. Guys are not doing okay. Guys are not doing okay. That video really hurt me so much. Went to school, did everything, no jobs. And the bad thing they did with us is that we grew up having the tendency of seeking for jobs, yeah, looking for jobs. And it is terrible, because they created job seekers. Basically, we are job seekers. So when you fail to get a job, then you're doomed. And if you're not connected, doomed. And those who are connected, they are put in positions that they cannot operate. You find someone in the Ministry of Agriculture, but of course they've given someone who is an architecture to be heading agriculture. You find someone who is who is heading ICT, but of course studied what? Studied farming. Basically, from top to the bottom, it is the system that has failed us. And most of the people who go abroad and then they are like, let's go work, make some money. But of course, if you enter the abroad system, then you'll be okay. I don't like that system too. But what is there to do? Nothing. It is really bad. I think you've been listening to my son cough, and I don't know why my internet is buffering, but I think I'm going to be calling it a wrap for today. We've not been very many, but of course, at least I'm consistent. I've decided to come. Yesterday I was here, even tomorrow I'll be coming same time. And for those people, of course, who subscribe, the new subscribers, I want to say thank you very much for subscribing. Let me put this young man to go sleep because it is 11. So I don't want him to sleep late because we are going to wake up early. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're catching me from. Until when we catch up, I want to say bless ya. Bless ya.